quickly. So I'm going to start the music. And so if you feel into it tonight, we can just start singing. That's fine. So we'll just find a comfortable place to do. So if you want like crisscross, down, together, whatever makes you
Oh,
happy.
Jessica, I'm sorry, I can't really hear you.
Okay. Let me see. My voice is probably more important than the music. It might be that the music was drowning out my voice.
That's great. Okay,
Okay,
let me
lovely.
mute again.
Yeah. So legs crossed, together, straight out front, whatever's comfortable for you. I think tonight I'm just going to do a little fire log here. Let's just place our hands out in front, about on your knees, lengthening up through the spine. Let's take like 5 deep breaths, so you can close your eyes if you wish. Let's inhale through the sides and back of the body and exhale, letting that head lift from tail. And again, inhaling and exhale, grow a little bit more. Inhale, exhale, blow out the tension in the lower body. Breathe in and breathe out the tension in the torso. Breathe in and breathe out the tension in the jaw and the eyes and the forehead. And softly open the eyes. We're going to take one hand down by our knee. We don't want it to be back behind your hips, but by your knee. We're going to take a big inhale and we're going to reach the opposite arm over. You're welcome to mirror me or to do the opposite. We're going to do, everything equal on each side. I will try not to say left or right because I am mirrored to you, so it's when I'm saying right is opposite for your left. So we'll just do one side and the other, so very much don't judge which side you aren't supposed to be on. We'll inhale up and we'll exhale over to the other side. Feeling that stretch here, just make sure the hand is in front of your hip, up by your knee. That way your rib cage is well stacked. And we're going to go again. If you have one leg on top of the other, you might choose to switch. If you're somewhere that's pretty equal, that's fine. And again, hand up by the knee. We're going to exhale over. As you're here, the opposite hip from the hand on the floor is really going to drop down. So we don't want to have this rear end peeling off, but it stays nice and contained. We're reaching the opposite arm. So you really are hopefully getting a stretch from your hip all the way up through your armpit, perhaps a little deeper. And we'll inhale. Again, we're going to drop this hip as we exhale that same arm overhead. Hand close to by the knee. Sorry, one rib is on top of the other. Excellent. You might even try dropping your shoulders down a little bit. Relaxing that jaw. And we're going to breathe up. Let's go for a little spiral here. So I'm going to take one hand to the opposite knee. That same hand is that knee behind my spine. So you're going to go right in the center of the pelvis. You're going to inhale, lengthen up. You're going to exhale, look towards the back shoulder. Breathe in deeply and exhale. Go a little deeper into the twist. Inhale, come to the center, opposite side, hand to the knee, same hand as that side, behind your tailbone. Breathe in, lengthen up through the spine, and exhale, spiral over the shoulder. Inhale deeply. Exhale, spiral a little farther. And breathe out, come back to the center. Let's take our feet together if they're not already there. Your option to have them far away or tucked closer in, whatever's comfortable with you. That'll leave step to my foot. We're gonna take an inhale here, lengthen out through our back. Hands can hold on to your shins or ankles. We're gonna exhale, fold in the hip sockets. Reach forward. We're looking for a flat back here. So we're gonna keep your spine long and extended. We're gonna breathe in there. And breathe out so you can go a little farther. Breathe in, breathe out. Push the knees down towards the ground. Breathe in, breathe out. Tuck the chin to the chest. On your next exhale, roll up through your spine from the tail. Lengthening the head out. We're going to extend the legs. Just gently shake them out there, releasing in the hips. If you want, you can take your thumbs and fingers. Just give a little gentle massage. That's it. All right. So let's do a little bit of hamstrings. Let's take our legs a little bit wider. So this is going to be a gentle straddle. Don't go to your deepest straddle. And you're going to take one leg and fold it in towards your center. So welcome to gently touch your inner thigh. A couple options with the foot. A more dynamic stretch, and then like there's a passive and then an active stretch is to have like a flexed or a pointed foot, or so an active stretch. Passive stretch is just to let everything release. So we're gonna play a little bit with that, but if there's one that feels lovely to you tonight, feel free to dig into that and go. So let's take just a nice relaxed leg. Again, same leg as hand. That hand's gonna go up by the knee. I don't want us back here. That tends to spiral the upper body. This allows the ribs to be over top of each other, that posture to happen. We're gonna ground this folded side so we don't want the rear coming up. We're gonna inhale that leg up and we're gonna exhale here over towards the knee. Breathe in, breathe out. Go a little deeper if you can. Try and soften that elbow. Sometimes it's even nice to just fold the arm there. You want to try not to be gripping, pushing, holding ourselves, but instead try to release and lengthen into the muscles. As you breathe out, you can try flexing that extended leg, lifting the heel off the floor. You can also work through the point. For me, I can go a little deeper in the point than I can in the flex, so it's kind of fun to go back and forth between the two. Get a little deeper each time. If you want a little upper body stretch, you can press that top arm back, and this is going to open the sternum. Your whole different stretch there. For me, I get a big side stretch happening, as well as what's going on in my hamstring. And we're going to inhale up, wiggle it out a little bit, release the body, come back to that straddle, folding the opposite leg in, lengthening this one out, nice and passive. We are going to put a little energy into this leg, making sure that that hip stays on the floor. Same hand as extended leg by the knee. Inhale and exhale, reach over. Each time you breathe, See if you can sink into the stretch a little deeper. Again, try not to brace with that arm. Try and let it release. Feel the stretch from the opposite hip. Everyone's gonna feel this a little differently. Tonight, it's really all my side body, less in my hamstring, but that's okay. You can play with your point and your flex. Keep breathing. Again, option of pressing back, spiraling that upper body. Softening the chest. And rolling up. Good. Let's bring it around. We're going to take ourselves on to a nice tabletop, all fours here. If you have sensitive knees, as many of us do, if you've got a yoga mat, you can fold it up a little bit. I'm just working with a towel right now, so same thing, I could fold it, I could just take a little boop, and then I have a nice extra cushy spot for my knees. You can also add your own towel. If you have a yoga mat and you want to get a little hand towel that can hold up. Another option is lots of people, if you have really sensitive knees, I'm okay on this one. They'll take an old yoga mat and cut it into strips and then just have one of those strips for the knees. So just some ways of like playing with what your body needs. So we're going to spend a little time on those knees, so make sure it's comfy for them. They're going to come lined up underneath our hips, and our palms are going to be nice and wide underneath our shoulders. We're going to let the tops of our feet release on the floor. So I don't want the toes to tuck, but really the ankles to try and press down into the earth. Let's take an inhale, lengthen through our body. And exhale. Inhale again. As you exhale, you're going to take your nose and try and touch it to your belly button, dropping the tail and arching the spine. With an inhale, come to your flat back. Just notice what needs to work here. I've got a little bit of squeeze in my armpits, a little bit of squeeze in my inner thighs, the base of my glutes. Take an exhale and arch. This is the cat back for yoga. We're going to inhale, find that flat back again. Option to go into cow. I don't like full cow. I don't like letting my low back release because of my scoliosis. So for me, I just take a little karma. I just arch my upper body. But if you want to sink into the whole thing, that feels great for you, go ahead. And exhale. Cat or arch. Inhale, cow. Releasing and sinking. And now we're going to try starting a cat just from the tail. So rolling through the tail, through the low back, to the mid back, to the shoulders, and then tuck the head. Unfurl from that cat, from the tail, through the mid back, to the low back, to the head. So now you're just going to find a nice flat back. Let's reverse that. Tuck the chin, roll through the spine, and find your cat back. Lengthen the neck. Roll through the spine and find that flat back. So those can be some nice ways of really opening, lengthening, releasing the spine. So let's start with the tail. And then unfurl with the head. And start with the head, deep exhale. And open up, coming from the tail. Let's release our heels down to the sits bones. Extend the arms out, deep stretch. Going into that child's pose. Right now we have the legs right underneath the hips. Try and take the weight of your pelvis onto the heels, really dropping down. Lengthening the spine. Ooh, and my back just popped. Success. And roll it back up. Okay. Let's tuck our feet underneath us. Just find a little squat and we're going to gently lengthen through. So now my tail's reaching to the sky. Little standing pike stretch here. Breathe out. We're going to roll up. Come to standing. Let's see if I can shift back there. You can see most of me. My face is not really that important right now. Let's take a breath in and with an exhale, roll down through that spine. Feel the big toes on the floor. Feel the inner thighs working. So you should be in a nice strong parallel. I like to have my weight on the balls of my feet so that I'm not shifting into my heels where I'm likely to hyperextend my knees. Knees should be lengthened, but not pressed back. We don't want to be locking those joints into place. Take an inhale here with an exhale. Let's fold down into a little squat. You can keep your heels on the floor if that's more comfortable. If you want to release them off, go ahead. Feel your ribs connect with your thighs here. As you exhale and extend the tail to the ceiling, do your best to keep your ribs there. It's probably not going to happen, but that's our goal. Exhaling there. Sometimes we get a lot of tension in the hip sockets. So again, if you want to go in and massage there, or even in your quadriceps, sometimes you can get more flexibility just by relaxing. And we're going to breathe out. Bend those knees, plie again. Roll slowly up. All right, let's go into some lunges. So you have the option of bringing a chair close by. Completely an option. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do this. Take my big heavy bench. And it's just really completely person dependent on what feels good. So we're going to take one leg forward and the other leg back. So let's start with a standing lunge. We're going to have our hips facing forward. My front knee is slightly bent. My back leg is extended but not hyperextended. I want to have my legs in parallel, so middle toes pointing forward. So I'm going to look at my chair. So I have the option of putting my hands on the chair and going a little deeper into that back heel. You can also do that just by shifting that leg forward and really dropping back. So 2 different ways of getting at the same stretch. This one's going to get into the heel a little more. This one you might get the front of your back in. Completely whatever's comfortable with you. From there, we're going to go down a little deeper. So this is where the chair can be nice, or your couch, or something, because it's something you can hold on to as you go into that runner's lunge. You can even have arms up, or you can just bring your arms down to the floor, whatever's comfortable with you. So this is just a way of bringing that ground a little closer and having a little more stability. Let's inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. You can press into the ground, onto your thigh, onto that chair. Let's stand up. Bring those legs together. We're going to start again. So now we're going to take the opposite leg front. We're going to step this. Whoa, you can stand up. This back leg back. We're going to breathe here. The more you soften that front leg, the more you're going to get a deep stretch into the back. Again, you're welcome to reach forward, grab onto something. So really looking for that calf stretch there. Continue to breathe. You don't need any tension in your shoulders. Take the tension to the core if it's going to go anywhere. And then we can take our runner's lunge or a high lunge. Again, you can have your hands there on the ground, on your thigh, or up. We want to make sure alignment-wise that the knee is right over the ankle. So you don't want it forward over the toes or back behind the ankle. And this should be getting the hip flexor and the quadricep of your back leg. And I'm feeling that tonight. Oh man. One more deep breath. And however you need, get yourself back up. Okay. We'll probably, let's do a little fun hamstring thing you can do with your chair. If it's not comfortable, you don't have to, but you can also get a hamstring stretch just by gently putting your leg up on a chair, a couch, the bar at your house, and you can walk yourself forward, nose towards the knee. Feel a little hamstring there. Try and make sure that the hips are square, that this hip isn't like spiraling forward, but that they're even as if they were up against a wall behind you. Take a deep breath in and out. And out. And let's roll up there, or come up, gently switch. I like to have this leg right in front of my nose or my belly button. I don't want it too far out to the side or too far crossed. And right now I'm just doing a passive stretch and not worrying about flexing or pointing those toes as they go forward. Of course, you can always play with that on your own. Oh yeah, this is the leg. Last night, I was taking dance class. It was like, oh, this hamstring is feeling it. Take the nose down towards the knee. Deep inhales and exhales. Again, you're going to get your deepest stretch by having an extended leg. If it's softer, it's going to be less intense, but I also don't want to press the bones together and hyperextend. So there's this kind of lovely middle ground, but a little softer is better than too extended. Let's roll up again. All right, take that leg off. If your chair's going to be in your way a little bit, feel free to shift it. We'll go back down to the mat for the last few minutes. So let's stand at the top of the mat. Let's take a big inhale, and with our exhale. Oh, actually, let's go a little wider than we were before, towards the edge of your mat. So about a little wider than your hips, second position or so. Still working in that parallel. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, roll down through the spine. Fingers towards the toes. Let your body hang for a second. And remember, you can soften those hips and quads. You might get a little deeper stretch. Also, be careful you aren't bracing against the floor. Just let your weight and your breath soften you down. With an exhale, let's fold the knees. You're going to tuck one leg gently underneath you, sitting towards your bottom. And in whatever direction is comfortable for you, we're going to lay down onto our spines. You can roll, you can use your core, whatever sounds lovely. We're going to go into a rotator stretch, so that's going underneath the glutes, one of my favorite ones. So I'm going into what I like to call neutral on the floor. So this is heels in line with my hips. My feet and my knees are about a hip width distance apart, so about your sits bones, usually about a fist. My arms are going to be out to the side, nice and relaxed. Take an inhale. As I exhale, I'm going to fold in one hip. I'm going to rotate that leg outward. I'm going to cross my ankle over the opposite knee, and I'm going to press this knee down. Some people call this a four as well, but it's also like what the business guys do in their meetings when they cross their legs and sit there looking all official and worldly. So if this feels like a great stretch as you kind of push that knee open, excellent. If you want something a little deeper, you can fold the bottom leg up, and that should stretch the top of that hamstring where the rotator muscles are a bit more. If you still want more, you can curl up a little bit, grab that thigh or behind that knee, roll down gently, pull it towards you. Again, we're still looking to find the rotation of the top hip. You don't want that knee curling in, but you want it to stay open. Try to make that four. This is also a great spot for some ankle circles. It's a great spot to try and see if you're still relaxing your shoulders to the floor. Your jaw is still not tense. Also, the tailbone is going to stay connected. I want your butt rolling out. And we're going to gently place that leg on the ground. We're going to switch feet. So now whatever leg you do pull, it's going to come up. The ankle's going to curl over the knee. This top leg is pressing open. If that feels great, keep that stretch. A little more involves folding the bottom leg. A little more involves reaching underneath and gently tucking that leg towards you, while still keeping the entire spine on the floor. If you still want to do ankle circles, I feel like my ankles can always use them. But it's also just a good time to let the body relax. We hold so much extra tension. Let's let it all drain into the floor. And let's release that leg. Untuck it. Let's take our arms up. A little shoulder stretch for me as I take my arms into cactus arms. So as you see, they look like goalposts on the ground. You're also welcome to have nice extended T-arms, but it's also great if you're banging into things like I am a little tonight. These can be good arms. So I'm going to take my arms out to the side. Your choice of how I'm going to let my ribs relax to the floor. I'm going to take a little spiral here. I'm going to exhale my legs as if I'm sitting in a chair, a right angle. I'm going to go this time towards the video, towards my computer. My legs go that way. My opposite shoulder, the shoulder farthest from them, is going to work to stay on the ground. You may not get all the way to the floor as you spiral, but that's okay. Then my head is going to look away from my computer. So my upper body is spiraling in the opposite direction of my lower body. The goal is to get everything to relax towards the floor. It may or may not happen for you. Spiraling is really integral to spinal health. Gentle spirals every day to keep and gain mobility. Absolutely. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. As you exhale, pull your belly down to the floor. Coming up to that chair position. And breathe out, go in the opposite direction with the legs. The head is now going to look away from those folded legs. So I'm going to be looking towards my computer. I'm going to keep both shoulders on the ground. I'm going to continue to breathe. And just let gravity do the work. Gently rotating the spine. hold the nails is fine. You're gonna place those feet gently on the floor. One last thing, we're gonna take our hands, make a little cradle of them, however you want. Those are gonna go underneath your head. Your elbows are gonna be wide. So I'm looking like this, laying down. And I want your head to be really heavy in the hands. So you're not gonna use your neck or chest muscles to lift. But instead, we're gonna fold the arms in and pull the head off the ground gently with our hands. So your head's kind of fighting like a cannonball in a net, and your arms are gonna pull up, and this should hopefully stretch the back of the neck. So as you're ready, exhale it up. So you can let your whole body be heavy, except those elbows and arms lifting. For an extra stretch, you can gently turn your chin to the right and then the left. You'll see how that shifts the stretch to the side of the neck. Just do both sides equally. Come back to the center, or just find that one spot that really needs a little extra work. And then we're gonna breathe out, release that head down. Let's extend all of our limbs. We're just gonna go into a little Shavasana relaxation. Arms can be above the head, they can be out to the side, they can be down by the hips. We're just gonna let our hips naturally open up and release into their rotation. Palms can be up or down, really whatever's comfortable with you. Widen the shoulders a little bit. Let's take 5 or 6 deep breaths, releasing all the tension. Gently wiggle the fingers and toes. And you can fold wrists and ankles. Bring that flexion into the knees and elbows. And start moving the hips and shoulders. Bring the wiggle into the spine. And you're gonna roll onto your side, curl up a little bit, soften down towards the ground. Breathe out, use your top hand to bring you to sitting. Find a nice comfy spot. Look around a little bit, bring yourself back into the world. Take a deep breath in and out. Thank you. All right, let me turn the record off. Take your time to just breathe.